Cubs drop another game, another close game, another game where they had men in scoring position, didn't drive them in. One bad inning for starter Jamison Tyone, one missed pitch, and a 4-2 loss to the Brewers. What does that mean for the Cubs? Where are they right now? Do we need to look at the standings? I mean, really? Let's get into all that right here on the Cubs Baseball channel. Like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Thanks for being here today, and let's get this thing started. Lots to talk about after last night's loss. What do you say, everybody? Mick Gillespie, Cubs Baseball channel, and it is great to talk to you guys today at Broadcaster Mick on the socials. Now, I know that a lot of Cubs fans are so sick and tired of the losing, and they lost again yesterday, and it was one pitch, a grand slam. They lose 4-2, all of it in one inning, and it was like, a walk, a catcher's interference, an infield hit, and then hang a breaking ball, and it gets hit out of the park, and then you can't score the rest of the night. But we've seen this formula before. Instead of the bullpen giving it away, it was a bad pitch by a starter, and the deflating feeling of this season just keeps falling further and further down, and it looks like the Cubs are going to be sellers at the deadline. I think that maybe they haven't gotten to that point totally yet, but I think that that's where we are, unless they can make a miraculous turnaround, and they need to do it fast. The chemistry on this team doesn't look good. They seem defeated as soon as the other team scores. If they're down early, they're flat. They get runners in scoring position, and it doesn't matter who it is. No one drives them in. Craig Counsell looks like he's just baffled right now. What are the answers to this? Yeah, there's a lot of injuries that were involved in this season. And I mean, it is a reason and it is an excuse, but it is a reason that this team hasn't done well. The issue, though, is that this team is running out of time, because if you're the Cubs and there's anything tradable and you get to that deadline and somebody's willing to give you something for it, you got to make moves. Now, they don't have the deals that they could have made last deadline because of contracts, I don't think. I guess we'll find out. But they do have some good starting pitching, and starting pitching is the most valuable commodity in baseball. So we're going to get into exactly what that's going to look like as things progress. But that's where we are right now. And teams are showing up, and they're watching the Cubs, and they're not watching the Cubs prospects anymore. They're watching the Cubs big league roster, because that would be the next move. And that's you go out and you make trades for the Cubs big league players to try to get your roster better and win a World Series. This team not winning a World Series unless they catch lightning in a bottle. And this team has just been flat and uninspired. And it just right now, it looks like this thing's going to end up in a horrible mess. They fall 11 and a half games behind Milwaukee. Every time you turn around, they're falling further and further behind in the wild card race. And really, you can't even look at the standings. You got to just win game after game after game at this point and just try to play some good baseball. And it's not like I don't look at them and think these guys have quit. I don't feel like that. I just feel like they play uninspired baseball. And I wonder how injured Cody Bellinger and Seiya Suzuki were when they came back. Didn't seem like they were gone very long. Not having Mike Tauchman definitely hurts, but it's every time you turn around, someone's going on the IL. Keegan Thompson this time going on. Every day somebody's getting hurt. And when you have teams that are playing like this, injuries seem to be part of what you do. When you have a team like in 2016, no one gets hurt. I don't know why. It's just the way that it is. Is it luck, or is it that guys are trying too hard? I don't know. But the bottom line is that the Cubs have to start thinking about selling. The other thing, and a lot of you guys are going to be in the comment section and you're going to say this, is that the Cubs need to start looking internally and evaluating the entire organization, because this is going to be another year that they didn't make the playoffs. They're spending a whole lot of money on players that aren't producing. Not to say they can't, but they haven't. And at the end of the day, the accountability falls on Jed Hoyer. So hopefully that this team can, swing back and start to win some games. But that's how this business works. And going back to 2016, you want to throw this all in a bubble and just kind of look at it from there. They have progressively gotten worse every single year. Won the World Series, then they got rid of all those guys. And now the players that they got back are supposed to be in the big leagues, and they're in AAA. So if that's what the game plan is, then they need to move some guys out and let those kids come up and play. You see it with Pete Crow-Armstrong. There's flashes of greatness, and then there's a lot of learning going on. And he's getting schooled. Okay? When he gets on base or he's in the outfield, he does a good job. And by the way, the other outfielders, when he's in center, need to get out of his way. They need to get out of his way. I know you're not used to playing with someone that has that much range. Do yourself a favor and cheat a couple steps the other direction instead of getting there and wanting to catch the ball. When he's in center field, he's in charge, guys, and you need to move out of the way and let him catch it. So go over and take a hit away, maybe take a couple steps in. You need to take advantage of the fact that you got one of the best outfielders defensively in the game out there, and he can cover a lot of ground. But there needs to be a long look at what's going on and why things aren't working. They didn't work last year. You came up a game short. And now this year, we're in the same spot where even if you start to make a run, it's still a risk to ride with this team and try to make it better with trades. And if you're not going to ride with the guys you got, get rid of them and let the other guys come up and play, and let's see what they look like. Because what's going on right now doesn't feel like they're taking a step forward at all. It just feels like I watch the same game every single game, every night. And that's why a lot of people have turned off this team. They'll try to do it again today, though. 3-10 against Milwaukee, and it'll be Justin Steele, 0-3 with a 3.08 ERA against Tobias Myers, who's 5-2, 3.12 earned run average. The secret to beating Milwaukee is simple, is that you got to take advantage of your scoring opportunities, get some runs, and just play smart baseball, because they're a team that I don't think has much more talent, if even as much talent as the Cubs, but they know how to win, and they're going to sit back and wait on you to make a mistake and capitalize on it. We've seen them. That's what they do. That's what they did yesterday. That's what they're going to try to do today, and the Cubs need to counteract that. Comment section. Get in there in the comment section. Let's read those comments. Look for some more shows. Putting one together right now. I want to talk about who might be interested in some Cubs players, so look for that show to drop soon. Anthony will be back on as well, but appreciate all of you guys. And hopefully today's the day where these guys get it turned around. Look, Kyle Hendricks turned it around, which to me was amazing, right? I mean, really, when you look at him and the fact that he's, actually competitive and good, didn't look like that was possible. Nothing's impossible, but it just takes something to spark this team. And we'll see what that is. Maybe them and the Brewers. The Brewers seem to start a lot of fights. Maybe them and the Brewers will get into a little bit of a back and forth, and it'll light the fuse for these guys. Play with a little sense of urgency because they're running out of time. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you again real soon, and go Cubs.